What is going on, you guys? I have got some terrain to look at for Legion today, and this is new stuff from 354 Studios. They actually sent me a couple of pieces of terrain for review purposes, so I'm letting you guys know that up front. But overall, it's pretty nice quality stuff. This is the Imperial Forward Command Post set, and it's actually got a couple of different pieces. You've got like a big kind of barricade shielded wall here, and this one is kind of nice looking with the bullet holes in the front. I kind of like that, or blaster bolt holes, as well as little places that you can kind of see through so you guys can still shoot from behind there. I kind of like that look. It's, you know, and it's a good size. You have this little field operations desk, and there's a whole lot of detail here on this thing. It's actually pretty nice looking. And I'll probably be going back and painting these all once we take a close look at all of them. But another nice little piece to offer cover. And then you've got this command post tower right here. And it's this cool, one of the things I like about this whole piece is that it's all modular. Like, this all can come apart. It comes in different pieces. The ladder doesn't have to be on here. You have this top part right here. You have this bottom part, which does allow for people to walk underneath it, and they have these little divots here where it just kind of locks in, and then you have this right here. And now this is my only complaint with this is that it's only big enough to hold 4 people, so you can't put a full unit up or an upgraded unit up here, and that can be a pro and a con, because it can potentially keep some units safe. So if you don't want somebody to come in and melee your unit, maybe you put a smaller unit up there and now they're safe. Now Luke Skywalker in theory can't actually jump up there and melee them, so they're kind of safe for him. And that could be, you know, so in some ways it's a con, but in some ways it's a pro, I suppose. So that's kind of cool. We're gonna take a look at some other things. They also gave us some crates as well. So we're gonna take a look at these. And these are just your supply crates, and they're pretty well put together. And these are all 3D printed, nice looking, and I think they will take to some paint very well. There's different sizes here as well, and I like this type of stuff because I can stack it up however I want. And this one's a little bit smaller, so we've got a large one and a small one here. You can see the size difference, and as they compare to Luke, they're about half the size of the Mini. So it gives you a little bit of variation if you want to have them stacked on top of each other. To completely conceal, Darth Vader's hiding behind the crate there. But yes, there we go. Let's take a look at some more pieces. Alright, now this is called the Imperial Outpost, and this is kind of a larger piece, but they're all kind of modular and they're put together from smaller pieces. So it's, you know, you have a couple of different parts to it. This is actually one physical piece for this base piece. The command tower on top, the roof is separate, and then the side facility, the roof is separate as well. Now, I think the intent here is for you to glue these on once you are done with whatever painting or assembly you're going to do. But I kind of like the idea of not necessarily gluing everything together, because this one, I could set this up as a separate building, or if I wanted it to, you know, go long ways, I could do that. Or if maybe I didn't want this top piece on, I could just keep it like that. And so it all depends on how you want your games. Like if I want a snowspeeder to be able to land on here, well, now I got no problem with that. This is big enough for a snowspeeder base to land on without any problem, and definitely it goes without saying, an ATRT base, because that's, you know, much smaller. So the largest bases can still go on this, although you know, certain other bases, like maybe a speeder bike, might have a little bit of a problem. Now, one of the cool things about this one is, but if you don't glue this on, you actually have the option of flipping it upside down. And that's kind of cool, because and it fits perfectly in there, the antenna that's on top. And now all of a sudden your speeders have no problem landing on top. Now that much I kind of like. Now our side piece as well, like this one, I probably will go ahead and glue the roof on. But there's a lot of really cool detail in here. I'm going to just look at the sides here up close. We've got a lot of definition on those windows. And this is the windows for the commands tower. And we got a vent here in the back. So it's not just the same on all sides. You've got a ladder right here. You've got you know, some exhaust vents right there going into the ground. You've got this part on that side. Got the grating on the top. Then you've got the door. Now the door is a little bit of a criticism. As much as I really like this, and I do very much like this, the door is a little small for the scale. So if I've got my guy sitting up right next to it, let me find a Stormtrooper here. You see, they're about the size of the door, but not quite. So the door could be a little bit bigger, but it's not such a big deal that it doesn't kill the immersion or anything. I think if the door were a little bit bigger, it would be perfect. But this does keep it kind of usable with lots of different stuff. But so that's one little criticism. But I do definitely still really like the piece. I like that it's modular. I like that you can put it together in multiple different ways. I think that's a really cool thing. Let's take a look at another piece. So now we've got the turbo laser tower, and I really like this one. I think this is my favorite piece. It's absolutely gorgeous, and there's a lot of detail in here, and it's very, very clean. One of the things I really like about this is, if you followed my channel, I've made a lot of terrain over the past couple of months, and I tend to do more stuff that is natural formations, and because it's very forgiving. Like I kind of cut and pull apart and let things kind of look very organic and with nature, because I'm not so good at doing straight lines. When I try to cut my foam board and everything, those straight lines sometimes tend to kind of break off and become ragged, and they don't look as good. So having 3D printed stuff to represent structures is just going to be a really nice part. Now, this turbo laser is absolutely gorgeous. It is got a lot of detail in here. The gun tubes themselves are, there's all kinds of little grooves and stuff. I can't wait to see how this is going to get painted. You've got some ladder grips right there for workers to get up on. You've got detail all around here, and then the base itself, you've got these tubes here. You have just nice little grooves inside all over the base. My only criticism here as well is, and this isn't even much of a criticism, is just that you're just kind of resting this on here. There's nothing to lock it in, and I suppose you could glue this as well, but I kind of like the idea that that maybe it could spin. So I mean, I imagine you could probably just put a little pinhole in there and do that. Well, one of the things that I'm going to do is just take some putty, and I have, like, this type of wall tack that you could stick a poster on the wall, and I use this type of stuff when I'm painting, and I could just put a little piece of putty right there, and boom, now it holds it in place. So in case Luke decides he wants to jump up on top of this thing, I don't have to worry about it sliding off. So that's probably a reasonable compromise. But yeah, this piece is gorgeous. Let's compare all three pieces, or everything together. All right, so one of the things that's cool about this too is they can all fit together different ways. Like I can take this ladder here and attach it to this command post, because it kind of swings. So you can do things like that, and you can make it be like a walkway if you wanted to do something like that. You can have people go underneath here. Vader fits under there, no problem. So the height is pretty good for having people be able to walk through and still maneuver. So functionally, works really well on. The crates being able to be stacked however you want. You can put them all together, and then units can climb on top of those and move on top of there as well. This part is especially good for climbing units. They'll have no problem getting up on here or up on here. And again, if you want to flip this over, this is sliding kind of freely here because I haven't haven't glued it in. I think, like I said, the roofs are intended to be glued. And again, you can just use putty if you don't want to glue them, if you want to be able to keep it, one way or the other. One thing that's actually pretty interesting here is the height. These are all coming in at just about, the turret is just about 6 inches tall at its highest point, so still height 1. So speeder bikes won't have any problem going over the top of this. But again, if you want it to be taller than height 1, you could always put it on top of something. You could just get like a small little piece of foam board and just prop it up 1 more inch, and then it'll be height 2, so you won't have a problem with that. This piece, and again, height 1 is about right here, at about where the gun for the AT-ST is. So the highest part of this room is just at about 6 inches tall. Pretty nice looking stuff. We're going to take a look and see how it holds some paint. So I'm going to prime it, and we'll paint it up a little bit. Alright guys, here is the final product. Basically all I did is put some black primer on these things and a little bit of airbrushing. I did little bits of blue and then some gray over top. Not really a whole lot. I mean, this whole thing, this only took me a few minutes, and they took the paint really well. You know, but I liked the black basing. Oh, I got little splatters from my airbrush, some white kind of splattered up. But I mean, I can come back and add some more detail. Like I didn't add any detail to this terminal yet, but there's plenty more I can still add. Computer screens and all kinds of pieces like that. And, you know, maybe put some glow around the bullet holes, make them brighter. So that, you know, there's some more things I can do. But I did talk to them about the door actually in between filming these videos, and they assured me, they wanted me to tell you guys they are going to actually make the door a little bit bigger. So they're going to be working on that door a little bit. So that's something that will probably change. And again, even as is, it's not, you know, it's not that big of a difference. It's just, you know, like if it was a little bigger, you know, minor things, but yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. So big thanks goes out to the guys at 354 Studios. If you want to check out their stuff, I'm going to put links in the description below, as well as there's a coupon if you want to order some stuff. You can use code Crabbok18 and save a little bit, which, you know, everybody likes to save money, so there is that. But yes, definitely go check them out. They have a lot more interesting stuff that's definitely available. I think it's pretty cool. I like the modular. You know, I like being able to set things up in different ways. I like, you know, heck, I could put this thing on top. Let's do that. Let's put this on top of here. All kinds of, you know, we could set that up there if we wanted to. You know, I like how it's just all, you know, set it up however you want. This stuff moves. Oh, see, I didn't paint in there. Ah, see, that's my little putty to hold this thing in place. I didn't paint that part. So see, I gotta come back and do some more, but I mean, with just a few, like literally 10 minutes worth of work, you know, these took the paint really well, and you know, there's a lot more that can be done. Add some trim around the doors, add some highlighting here and there. A lot more I could do. It's cool stuff, but thank you guys so much. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to make sure you subscribe, click the little bell for alerts, and make sure you check out 354 Studios. Big thanks to them for sending this out for me to play with, have fun with, and tell you guys about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.